G'day guys and gal. Warhammer fans are something different. We might be outnumbered by Star Wars fans or even Halo fans, but in a game of quality over quantity, we kick their ass every damn time. If someone is a Star Wars fan, they'll go see the movie within the first week of release, and maybe they'll buy their kid a toy lightsaber, and then maybe sometimes they'll pretend to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. Warhammer fans, however, are built different. An average Warhammer fan will splash thousands of dollars on cheap plastic that's only worth like $20, then they'll grind it up in a blender and then they'll snort it until they hemorrhage or run out of money. Perhaps a less grim example of the extraordinary dedication of the Warhammer fandom is how many unbelievably talented artists we have dedicating hundreds if not thousands of hours to creating Warhammer fan art. Art that often shits on official GW art and is usually made for free. With GW cracking down on these awesome dudes and dudettes who generously donate so much time to enhance our Warhammer experience, alongside the fact that they have seemingly forgotten to credit all the artists and team members who worked on the Warhammer Plus animations that have dropped, I thought I would come and do it for them. Speaking of legendary artists and beautiful art, whilst the auction for the Schmargen Car vs Terrifying Space Bugs of Death canvas goes on, I do want to mention that the money from the sales of the smaller print versions of this artwork are all going to the original artist. All of it. Originally, the deal was I was to take like a 15% cut, but I've decided that 100% of the proceeds will go to Nicolas, the artist, instead. So if you don't think you'll win the auction, but you still want to own one of the most gorgeous Battle Mace 40 million artworks on the planet, then here's the chance. Link to that will be below. Today we'll go over some of the most talented, creative, and dedicated artists that produce some of the finest Warhammer fan arts. I'll show off some of their best pieces, a little bit about them, and how you could go about supporting or even commissioning artwork of your own. There's a very good chance that you'll recognize a lot of these artworks, and after this video, you'll be able to put a name to them. Let's get into it. Starting us off with an artist whose work features in a lot of my videos because she's just so damn good and she just has so much of it. Disharmonia. I will apologize in advance if I misgender any of these artists. They pretty much all use these cool little artist code names with stylized profile pictures, but I'm just going to assume that this photo is of Disharmonia. Well, at least I hope it is, because it's a cool mental image seeing a badass platinum blonde Ukrainian develop these badass pieces. She does portraits, full body shots, scenes, the whole lot in her incredibly badass dark style. It's mad because it clearly shows the theme and vibe of Warhammer without falling into that try-hard category. She has done an artwork of everyone worth doing, including this iconic Primarch's image that I pretty much always go back to and refer to whenever I'm talking about all of them at the same time. Also, shout out to whoever painted them all in. I can't find your name, but your work, other than making Russa ginger and giving Fulgrim leukemia, is greatly appreciated. Disharmonia likely also sports the biggest collection of original fan-made characters, as she makes them for people who ask her really nicely. All in all, Disharmonia is a legend, providing the community with well over 100 stunning Warhammer artworks, and I can't wait to see what she does next. Next up we have Inkari, who was actually the guy that made that kitten fan art which I made a fan cosplay of. Unfortunately, this actually kicked us off on the wrong foot, because in the Custodes video I didn't credit him when I showed his artwork on screen, and he wasn't super happy about that. Well, it's a good thing that we were adults and we sorted it out very quickly, and now all is well. If only the rest of the world was that straightforward. Inkari has been producing some unreal Warhammer artworks. It follows a similar vibe to Disharmonia, but a lot more colourful and a touch less serious. Only a touch though. From badass renditions of fan favourite Space Marines to kinky ass Aldari, this man has done it all. If you'd like to support him, he does have a Patreon that I'll link below, and I think he does do commissions as well. Next up is someone that I have a crush on. Not because they're attractive or even of my sexually desired gender, no. It's because they make the majority of the TTS artwork. We have Eliphas. If Alpha was the brains behind the project, then Eliphas was the flesh, giving the series that fun stylized look with his take on dozens of characters being displayed. Now, Ellie wasn't the only artist for TTS. There were others like Z-Nook that also did a great job, but Ellie drew Kitten and the other Custodes, which is all that really matters. He's also whipped up some various other artworks in recent times that look unreal. I appreciate the love he gives to non-mainstream Space Marine chapters such as the Flame Falcons. It's likely you would also recognize a fair amount of Ellie's works if you avidly follow 40k Theories. 40k Theories is probably the only guy to have a bigger boner for Ellie than I do, considering half of his thumbnails are commissioned from old mate Ellie. I guess one silver lining of no more TTS is Ellie is now free to make more general Warhammer art. Eliphas has a YouTube channel where he uploads memes, songs, and even his own animations which take place within the TTS canon. His 3-part Tyranid series, for example, is incredibly well made and definitely worth a watch, especially if you want to fill in that deep black gaping hole that resides within you since the end of TTS. If you follow some of the Warhammer subreddits, you'll probably recognize this next artist straight away. Wolfdog Art Corner, known for his super stylized and incredibly sexy artworks. The best part about Wolfdog's art is that each piece has its own special source to it. He doesn't just recreate artworks from the lore in his own style, he takes characters and he adds a new spin on them, whether it be Traitor Primarchs in Loyalist style or Loyalist characters in Traitor style. He even did a Prime Orc series where he basically just orcified various Primarchs, and the results were really enjoyable. If I was GW, I would invest in a mini-series and create their own version of Love, Death and Robots or Marvel's What If, using this style for one or more of their episodes. Either way, Wolfdog is one to watch, especially since he seems to be coming out with more and more 40k related content as of recently. I'm not really sure how to go about supporting him, but maybe he is taking commissions. Onto an ironic one, we now have the Paint Newbie, who is anything but that. This artist is new on the scene, but he came in with a bang, producing this absolutely unreal Primarch art piece that is really getting slept on. Like, I reckon when the SEOs pick it up properly, it will become a very referred to piece of art. It basically shows each of the Loyalist Primarchs in their full panoplies of war, max level gear, all stats maxed out, ready to go. Even Ferris gets a feature with a cheeky nod to his appearance as the leader of the Legion of the Damned during the Siege of Terra. From there, the Paint Newbie has really been fleshing out parts of the fan-made Lionel heresy, redesigning the Traitor Primarchs as Loyalists, and fuck me, they look badass. It's almost sad seeing them like this because it's what they could have been. It's crazy to see how many artists continually pour their heart and soul into the hobby. The fact that this dude hasn't been hired yet is fucked. Like, look at this newest piece from 2 days ago. Holy shit, that looks like a fucking battle and a half. There's no way this guy doesn't get commissioned or hired by GW in the next 12 months. If they don't, I will. If you want to see his full catalogue, then jump on his Instagram, where I believe you can even buy his Battle Mace 40 million Prime dude's artwork as a canvas or a print. This next artist will blow your fucking mind. LJ Co, or Kelly J. He might not sport as large of a catalogue as some of the other artists, but my god, his art is amazing. He's clearly a fellow Dark Angels fan, judging by how many artworks of them he has made, and his interpretations of the line are by far the best in my opinion. Actually, not in my opinion, they're the best full stop. This is the dude who made 40k Theory's profile picture, and this is the dude who created this iconic Sanguinius piece. There really isn't much more to say. It should be really clear by now that I don't need to watch porn when I can just look at this. I believe he does do commissions, so if you want some god tier art made, then look no further. To be an asset to the 40k community, you don't have to dedicate all your artwork to it. This Sister of Battle piece by Josh is one of his only Warhammer pieces, but it's so fucking good that I would say it's iconic. I genuinely don't think there is a more detailed or realistic bolter bitch piece around. On a similar vein, Sergenamavokov has made only a handful of 40k artworks, but each of them are a masterpiece in their own right, and genuinely put official works to shame. There are way more artists that I haven't covered that deserve just as much credit as these guys and gal. Each work they produce paints a story, and it's people like these that keep the fandom so alive and invigorated. If you're an artist out there and that have been keen to make Warhammer based artwork, but is now scared of GW's policies, don't be. You are allowed to make fan art under their own rules, and if someone wants to commission art, just don't use GW symbols or trademark names, and they really don't give a fuck. On the same vein, if you love Warhammer and there's a character or moment from the lore that you love, but feel like it just hasn't been done justice in a visual sense, get it made. I can't draw for shit, but I've had a decent amount of genuine non-hentai artwork made. This Last Stand of Anarian piece literally sits in my studio, and I see it every day. If we can't have fan animations anymore, then this is genuinely the next best thing. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then Patreon is the place to be. Only $1 per month give you access to a boatload of hentai that doesn't contain any trademarks or copyrights, so it's immune from the law. I'm also finalizing the order for the $5 and above patrons to receive their free Majorkill sticker. Once it's finalized, I'll never make that sticker again, so you can think of it as like a collectible. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the real subscribe button for more arty content. Join the Discord for more memes, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.